Hey everyone, today is Christmas Eve, so if you do celebrate it and if you do subscribe to this whole event, Merry Christmas. If not, then Happy Friday, Happy Weekend, Happy Holidays, Happy Vacation, whatever it is, I hope you're having a delightful time. Today, I just wanted to tell you that even at 25 years old, Christmas has always been one of the more terrifying seasons for me. And the reason is because people give gifts during Christmas. It's gotten better as I've gotten older because people have given less gifts, although arguably given more expensive gifts. But as a kid, especially at school, you basically got a gift from everyone. Or maybe that was just me, maybe that was just my school. But it was almost an expectation that you were going to get something every Christmas. And at 25 years old, until now, until today, I'm terrified of receiving gifts. It's been a long journey, and this week probably I just woke up and realized, you know what? We've developed leaps and bounds in terms of overcoming our fear, having a healthier relationship when it comes to receiving gifts from people. And today I'd like to share with you my journey and just talk about where the fear exactly comes from and how I came to terms with it. So if you are like me, who has a hard time receiving gifts, I hope this speaks to you, and I hope that you come to a place close to where I am now, if not even better. Number one, and I briefly touched upon this, is as a kid, I always just felt like receiving a gift meant that I had to give a gift in return. In grade school, I deliberately remember during the Christmas season, we would shop for huge bags of chocolate with the mini M&M because my mom told us that it's your safeguard if someone gives you a gift so that you can also get something in return, because sometimes there are just people who you don't expect to give you something and then they do. So my mom's just saying, just be prepared and have something handy in case that does happen. So I guess I grew up with the thinking that giving gifts can never be one way. You have to give something back. And I guess growing up, it just grew into a more general understanding that you have to reciprocate the kindness or the goodness that people give you. That even though they don't explicitly say that, hey, I'm doing this so I can call for a favor in the future, you just have to think, or I just grew up thinking, that's how the world works. And so for the longest time, receiving gifts to me felt like a debt and a responsibility. So on one end, especially at the time when I was financially insecure, I just didn't have enough money to cover the gifts that were being given to me. Not in quantity, but in quality, because sometimes you'll run into people who give you very extravagant gifts and it really sweeps me off my feet. Like, how? What? Why? And on the other end, it's also that feeling of debt, that I have to do something in return, I have to return the favor. So if it's not a problem of I don't have anything to give to you, it's a problem of damn, I have to give something to you. And I think that's the primary reason why I felt bad or I felt burdened when I receive gifts. It's because sometimes I just don't want to give anything back. Sometimes I can't, even if I wanted to. And I just want to skirt away from the responsibility of giving something back. Number two, and this is more of a situational thing. I've always been concerned about gifts that I might not like or I might not use. Especially when people are expecting you to open it right then and there and waiting for your reaction.
Help!
Before reaction videos were a thing, those were the OG reactions. Taking out the Christmas wrapper, unboxing and everything, reacting in front of the giver.
Help!
The thing with me is that I put major importance in being personalized, being nuanced, being personal. So I like things or gifts to mean something for. If you're going to give me candle or socks at a time when I don't appreciate either, I will be displeased. Like, I know it sounds very spoiled and I know it sounds very ungrateful, but I do appreciate the gesture, but I also feel the burden to use it and to make you see that I value what you gave. And most of the time, showing value or communicating that is literally only through using it. consuming whatever it was. For me, the closer and how much it speaks to me as a person at that point in time is very important. I know it's unfair. I also use it as a barometer to judge, like, how much do you know? How much have you been paying attention? So because I don't want people to feel like their efforts are useless, gift receiving has been scary. Number 3, and now we're going to dive a little deeper. When you give gifts or when you receive gifts, that exchange creates a moment of intimacy. Because from how I see it, hey, I appreciate you so much. I had to get something else to communicate it, or I had to give something more to communicate it. And on the flip side, it's realizing, wow, I'm appreciated this much that it had to be a PS5 or it had to be a new phone. And I realize I've unconsciously and maybe a little consciously been avoiding situations where I can be vulnerable or intimate with another person. I now have the benefit of looking back. And looking back, I really deflected a lot of gifts that I got. So instead of just saying thank you, which by the way is what you should do, instead of just saying thank you, I would say things like, oh, you didn't have to, or why are you getting me this? Just things to block off the figurative reaching out of that other person. And I'm still not sure what about or why exactly I try to avoid the intimacy, but slightly related to that is I'm also very uncomfortable with the kindness. And maybe this goes back to number 1, where I feel like I incur a debt every time someone shows kindness to me. But also when it comes to intimacy, I just find it strange when people are nice.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's pump it up.
Which isn't to say that I grew up in a terrible environment or I grew up with evil people around me. I just grew very suspicious when people are nice and reaching out. And I feel like maybe part of the problem is I don't want them to get too close to me for reasons that I have not reflected on yet. For now. Number 4, and the last reason, I have a hard time showing gratitude. Back in 2019, I would think so, I had 2 friends from Korea, Judy and Hyunyu. Annyeong, if you're watching, annyeong. And we just met up. They paid for everything, like the food and the bowling, everything. They were in the Philippines, but they were the ones being hospitable to us. I don't know why. And before I left, just before I boarded the bus going back home, I remember Judy giving like a small bag, and then inside was the almond honey nut, so good, by the way, so good, and socks, and I think the spicy sauce of the spicy noodles. I kid you not, in the moment when I received that small bag, I really froze. And maybe a mixture of everything that I've just talked about, right? I don't know why I was getting it. Like, how do I return the favor? You're gonna be all the way back in Korea. I just froze, and I managed to say thank you. But after saying thank you, I literally just wanted to run away and be as far away from them as possible. And this does not speak about our friendship, or this does not speak about them as people. It just speaks about me. I guess in that moment, it was a very touching, soft, kind of intimate moment, just because I was very moved. They were the ones that came here. They paid for everything, and yet here they are, also giving me a present. And I don't know why. I don't know what I did. To me, I just met up with my friends. Nothing extravagant about it. So I was very moved, and at that moment, I really just wanted to hug them. I think I did. No, I don't think I did. So number 4, I really have a hard time showing my gratitude. Sometimes when you're overwhelmed with the joy and emotions, it just swells inside you, and then you don't know how to get it out. properly. That saying thank you just does not cut it. Giving hug just does not cut it. Sometimes even giving a gift of equal value, monetary or sentimentally, is that a word? Also just does not cut it. Especially for the times where the gift is spot on and it's right on the mark of the things I appreciate or the things that I want. I feel like I always come short in thanking and making that person feel that thank you for paying attention. So that's number 4. Just thank you. You really made my day. You've been saying that. It's shivers. So what has changed? Honestly, I don't think a lot has changed. It's really just the persistence, I guess, of some people to shower me with things and gifts and attention and whatever. But I think the major turning point when I decided to just say thank you only whenever I get something. Just say thank you and stop. Remember that my default has always been to deflect it or deny it or make myself small. Oh, I don't deserve this. So I think the first training I had was just to say thank you and just accept it and just deal with the guilt and shame or whatever afterwards. Until one day I guess it just didn't feel as bad or it doesn't feel as bad. It still comes up, especially if I get particularly expensive things, shoes, or I've never gotten one, but I would really love a PS5 or a new GPU for my PC, maybe a bike. That would also be very nice. Or I'd also like a GoPro, very expensive things that will make me shudder, but I really want those. And over time, by just saying thank you, I think I've also changed the conversation in my head when I receive gifts. If before it was, I don't deserve this, or what do I have to do in return? Now it's really just giggles, and there's still some guilt. But once you stop the conversation of thank you, at least to me, it has done wonders. The second thing I think it has changed is I've managed to take away the spotlight from myself and shifted it towards the relationship or the person. If you think about it, there is a certain joy in being able to express fully your appreciation or your gratitude towards someone. What I mean is, when you allow people to give you gifts or to compliment you or really anything in that spectrum, you are also enabling them to be more of themselves, to freely express themselves. That by the simple act of receiving, you are giving a gift, being open and not restricting that person. I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you have to hold yourself back, literally or figuratively. And it's one of the more confusing feelings out there when you find yourself wondering, I could have done more, I want to do more, but you can't. And so thinking about receiving gifts from that perspective really shifts away from what I'm feeling and more of what are they feeling and how would they feel if they couldn't express themselves fully. And seeing it from that perspective just makes it easier for myself, because number one, it kind of speaks to the kind of person that I am or that you are and the relationship that you have with that person. But also number two, just having the ability not to look at, oh no, I'm receiving something, as opposed to, wow, she really cares for me, or wow, he's such a bro. Just makes you appreciate the person more. Whereas before, I was very conscious about, oh no, I won't like this gift. The takeaway is the person. It's about our relationship in our everyday existence. Let us allow people to fully show you their love and gratitude and concern and joy. Let's also be open to the idea that we are deserving of the gifts. And sometimes things just really come for free. And that things just go your way and the world or anyone else will not ask for anything in return. That in this crazy, crazy world, sometimes the world throws you a bone and says, you know what, just take it. You've earned it. Live audaciously and tirelessly chase the best version of yourself. Merry Christmas. May you find gratitude for you, being you, and may you express and allow others to express their gratitude for being in each other's lives. Peace.